States. And finally, U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew has a message for China. In an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal, Lew urged the world's second largest economy to reaffirm its commitment to a consumer-driven marketplace. Lew also called for China to reassure its global partners that it will protect its foreign investment. Lew's comments coming as, remember, Chinese President Xi Jinping is on his way. He's actually going to be arriving in Seattle today, guys. And there's many calls for the Obama administration to get tougher on China when it comes to currency, when it comes to cybersecurity, when it comes to stealing our patents. I could go on and on.
And the things that you're going on and on, you could go on and on about are the things that Jack Lew didn't address. I mean, newsflash, you need to focus on the Chinese consumer. I mean, seriously, man? That's being hard on China?
It's the smoke and mirrors. They don't focus on the things that actually matter,
right,
as you just referenced. And I just got through reading his op-ed. Listen, China's going to do whatever China's going to do to deal with its economic issues. Whether they're going to devalue their currency a little bit, or what they're going to do and use every tool in the toolbox, just like the United States has done.
I've thought this for a long time, since Geithner handed it off to Jack Lew. Jack Lew is like a world-class bureaucrat who doesn't have really any kind of capitalistic thoughts in his head. Never mind going after the Chinese on some real topics. So again, this is just an example, I think, of American mediocrity in politics.
To quote Jack Lew, he said, "We have made clear to China's officials that they need to keep the commitments they have made to the U.S. and the international community."
I bet they're so scared.
I didn't gravitate toward that at all. Who cares what Lew says? I care what Xi Jinping told the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal has an extensive interview with him today, and it's a really good story.
So what's your takeaway?
Well, quote, the Chinese government does not engage in theft of commercial secrets in any form, nor does it encourage or support Chinese companies to engage in such practices in any way.
What he basically did was he refuted what I'm just going to say Geithner, but what Jack Lew should have gone after him on. I mean, that's basically what they're doing.
I'm going to China in 10 days. I'm looking forward to going to Beijing and Shanghai and actually meeting with a lot of the business leaders there and trying to figure out, actually I should say understand what the challenges are, what the breakdowns are in terms of dealing with the United States and the rest of the world.
Keith knows what the challenges are. I mean, I'm sure you're going to learn a lot on the ground. But Keith, you've been talking about this for quite some time, the troubles in China leading to a lot of the problems that we're seeing here.
Yeah, you definitely cannot disconnect the global economy from the U.S. economy. The people who are saying that are in the business of marketing the U.S. economy. That's fine. We understand that. That's been the case since the prior two bubbles in 2000, 2007. It's 2015, and the world is more interconnected than it's ever been. The big story that I think is actually on the screens today is that we've gone from China to Germany to Europe slowing.
Yep.
Now, again, the Bundesbank put out their monthly report yesterday, and they outlined this specifically. Newsflash, demand is slowing on the industrial side of the German economy. China flows to Germany. Everybody knows this. But the reality is that people haven't had to prepare for this in their U.S. equity portfolios. If you've been long bonds, that's good. If you've been long equities, that's been not good. So, again, I think Europe slowing is going to be an ongoing issue. You see the DAX now in crash mode, down 21% since April. You see Spain obviously doing the same thing, making lower lows. We talked about that last week.
Yep.
Spain has a big socialist election pending in November. There's going to be a lot more than Greece going on in Europe.
So are you saying that it's going to be very, very bad for European markets and hence U.S. markets because of what the president of China is saying, which is basically completely defiant to Dagan's point, that they're not going to change course? No, they're not going to change anything, and the Obama administration's not going to hold them accountable whatsoever.
They're not going to, as far as I can tell, they're not going to change trying to, you guys can ring the bell, but centrally plan their stock markets. They're not going to be able to change this thing called economic gravity. It's slowing, and they are not going to change the fact that they're obfuscating that slowing. So, again, I think that's what's going on.
Do whatever they got to do.